Like we'll figure out a way to flip anything, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like that's how it was.
So that was the ground roots of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm gonna buy this thing for cheap.
Yeah.
Lowball the heck out of somebody.
Yeah, literally.
Flip it for more.
Yeah.
If you work this hard, there's no way you're not going to make it in life. There's just no way. I just don't believe that for a second, that you will not make it working as hard as that. Not just us, you or the next person or whatever the next person is doing in life. Like when they're working that hard towards a goal, you're going to make it. Guaranteed.
Just simple freedom and just always be positive and just don't let anybody tell you what to do and just keep going and going and just chase your dream.
I think the biggest thing is having good people that are like-minded and that see the vision.
And that's what's cool about working together is that you're just working with yourself at that point.
Literally, I look at life now. Why not me?
Yeah.
Why can't I do that? Why is it so hard? If they can do it, I guarantee I can do it.
Guys, this podcast is Shack in Progress, and this podcast is about people in progress, whether you're a business owner, a creator, entrepreneur, and we all have a journey that we're trying to, accomplish in life. And I think that the most valuable lessons don't come from the finish line, comes from the journey there, right? So us going through this journey, I usually start by asking, you're in business now, but was there a point in your life, growing up, that you knew you were going to be in business? Like any of you guys in childhood, was there any sense of entrepreneurship already?
So, not really for us. I mean, my dad really grew up just getting it any way he can, like hustling. But yeah, there was really no sense in it. And then, just when we grew up, we kind of knew me and Lewis wanted to start something together. And then it's really nothing too crazy. It was just we knew we wanted to do something, but we didn't have anything in mind. Just something like.
Are you guys legitimate four brothers?
No, so it's me and Lewis that are brothers.
So
yeah, and they're twins. Oh, yep. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy now that you say that. That's all I see.
Yeah. But we pass as four bros,
that's
so
what I'm
we
saying.
all look alike. We all pretty much grew up the same, same culture.
So, and you guys knew each other as kids, or you guys were obviously as kids, and when did you guys meet, I guess? Now that I know they're two separate brothers here.
Me and Andrew met originally 7th grade.
Okay.
Met in 7th grade. Twins, obviously. So we all went to the same school. Then it came along, and then they really didn't all talk to each other like that because Rafi was 3 years younger than us.
Right.
But me and him stuck forever. Moved here. He moved out to Arizona. Then we always just kept in close touch.
Right.
And
Also, it was the relationship
Us
here
two.
that
Me and
grew
Andrew.
to this point.
Yep.
Okay. So prior to 7th grade, then I'll narrow it down to you two to cut the conversation.
Yeah.
So you're saying on this side, no one was in business, or were you guys flipping, freaking Pokemon cards, or
Everything.
I mean, we were flipping Jordans and
Yeah,
stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
just side things, but never really real entrepreneurship.
Okay. Well, that's the stuff I'm looking for because, a lot of the guys I've talked to that's been on the podcast, they were selling lemonade or they were mowing lawns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it grew to where they're at now. So you were flipping stuff, which is still business.
It definitely builds it up in you for sure. Like when you get used to doing it, you just find the next way to do the bigger thing, and then it just becomes more money, and then
Exactly.
that's when it becomes a real business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you guys had that. What about you guys? Did you guys do anything growing up, like making a little money here or there?
Yeah, so I got my first car, sold it for a profit, and then just kind of kept going from there. But my parents have always owned their own businesses and kind of watched them start from nothing, kind of work their way up. That's something that I always wanted to do, just didn't know what I wanted to do and where I wanted to start. Me and Lewis would always talk about it growing up, and it just ended up happening.
What kind of businesses they own?
They own sandwich shops, gas stations, liquor stores. They've probably tried it all.
Nice.
Shit, what didn't they own?
Okay, so you grew up around that environment.
Yeah.
Were you guys always at the store and stuff like that
Yeah,
working?
like our summer vacations were in the back room. We had a little playpen in the back. That's where we spent it growing up.
Okay.
Like all our childhood photos have us in the background.
So you're like the typical, like what you would think of a family owning different stores and restaurants. Like you kids were there working playing in the back or stuff. You were always, that's the type of life you're in. Always at the work, always at the restaurant. Maybe you're not working, but you were there.
But yeah, we were there with them.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up the same way. My family had a restaurant and everything, and there are stresses to it, right? So I know that owning restaurants, doing all that is great, but it also comes with a lot of stress. So just to kind of dive into that, because you guys, your dad and your parents were doing just kind of normal blue collar jobs or white collar
Yeah,
jobs.
just like blue collar jobs.
Okay.
And my dad became a semi truck driver, and like started his own business, but
Right.
yeah, nothing like really
No
growing up.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you guys tell me, Matt, if you can tell me a little bit of what it's like growing up with parents that are in entrepreneurship and what childhood was like?
We've learned a lot from them. Like we've learned of how to like save up money, and we've learned a lot of things from our parents. Because if it wasn't for our parents, then we would not be learning how to save money or any of that nature.
Right.
So-
Well, was it stressful? It was certainly really stressful for my parents, but I'm just trying to dive into it because what we learn and what the environment was like growing up, especially in business, we kind of bring that into adulthood, right? For you guys, it's like fresh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear from them. Was childhood a little bit weird? Like you weren't around your parents because they were always working, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So like my grandparents like lived with us from the day my parents got married. So we had like built-in like almost childcare.
Oh,
So like
wow.
grandpa would be with them at all times. My
Okay.
grandma would pick us up, drop us off, and then like on summer vacations we'd be with our parents
Right.
and hanging out with them, doing stuff, whether it's putting stuff on a shelf or just kind of hanging out.
Okay.
But that's kind of what we did. We really didn't take a whole lot of vacations because my parents just did it all.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they
Exactly.
ran it, operated, planned it, behind
Right.
the scenes, everything. So we're always going.
Okay. So you grew up and you wanted to go flip the car because you knew that you could do that, right? You making
Yeah.
money that way. But, I want to make sure that we don't miss any other steps because flipping a car, you're already like 18 years old,
Yeah.
right? So you already knew how business was. Were you doing anything else prior to that or you basically just ran into the car and you flipped it?
Yeah, I think because growing up, living, and even like working in a family business, parents always end up giving you a little bit less than what you'd be getting paid
Yeah.
in the real world. So I
Right,
was just
right.
like, man, I need to start making some more money.
Right.
And if I wanted to accomplish all these goals and tasks and dreams and stuff, it's like, hey, I can't do it for X amount per week. And so
Yeah.
I started with a car, got our first car at like 16. We actually shared a car at 16.
Oh, nice.
17, my parents were like, hey, you got your twins, you're sharing it. We shared a lot growing up. And we got our own rooms in like sophomore year of high school.
No way.
Yeah, they were like,
Took that
we were
long?
always together.
Would you guys fight a lot?
Oh yeah, we were always. He
Okay.
talks about his car that's on his.
Bro, it's still like that to this day.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a dynamic to just get your own place at sophomore in high school, or
yeah,
it's
own room.
on your own room. So all of
Yeah,
those
so
years
we
you
were
were
always like, yeah, because if
Wow.
we lived like, because my parents started with nothing, worked their way up and stuff.
Right,
So there was
right.
times that we were in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 of us,
yeah,
and then ended up just kind of slowly expanding out to the point where we ended up getting a 4 or 5 bedroom home,
right.
4,000 square foot home, and ended up getting our own spot.
So it ended up getting in business too together, right?
Yeah,
So
so that's just how it started. Just
Yeah.
wanted to make more money, kept going. So we sold the first car. We were able to each get a car from that profit instead of having one car, and then
Well,
kind of
dang.
end up having our own little thing.
That's huge. You took
Yeah.
someone for a ride. If you got enough profit to get 2 cars after that,
Yeah, so it worked out pretty good.
that's good. Okay. So you guys grew up in business. I get it. You kind of knew what you're getting into.
Yeah.
But with you both didn't really know. You started flipping things. So what was that like growing up? One, you guys weren't doing anything. Or you were flipping things. What were you guys flipping actually? Shoes. You said Jordans. Like what gave you the idea to even do that if your parents weren't even, in business?
Honestly, YouTube, bro. I'm looking at all these other kids making the money and shit. I'm like, why not? Why not us? Literally, that's the way I look at life. And literally, I look at life now. Why not me?
Yeah.
Why can't I do that? Why is it so hard? If they can do it, I guarantee I can do it.
Right.
When I started doing like the whole detailing business, everything, I was 20. That was 20.
Wow.
I'm about to be 28 next week. So that's when I started my own business.
Oh,
Yes.
so you're 8 years deep in detailing?
Yes.
That's okay.
So it's been a minute.
Right.
It's been a while.
Right.
So like, it's not like where people need to think so hard about it. You just try it out. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, carry on to the next thing. You'll find something. You'll find.
Well, let's take it back to the Jays.
niche.
You got to buy the Jays.
Yeah.
You're going to put some money at risk.
That's it.
Most of my family would never do that. My dad did a little bit, but most people don't want to put money at risk. So why did you even decide to buy the shoes to flip it?
Well, it was a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, so getting into J's, like we collect J's,
Oh,
you know.
like the shoes.
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
just- okay.
So it was a hobby, but then we like really got into it and saw like the profit that we can make, and like sometimes we'd go get shoes and there'd be a line, and we'd wonder like, why is there a line, you know?
Right.
And then we'd figure that there's a profit, and then when we saw that, we're like, oh, we could just flip this ourselves, you know? And
So
just
you guys became sneakerheads.
yeah, and then it ended up just flipping everything, you know?
Okay.
Every like memorabilia or
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
anything in general. Literally, we'll flip a couch. Like
Yeah.
we'll figure out a way to flip
I flip
anything, you
couches
know?
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just like that's how it was.
So that was the ground roots of entrepreneurship. Was
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm gonna buy this thing for cheap.
Yeah.
Lowball the heck out of somebody.
Yeah,
and then
literally.
flip it for more.
Yep.
Okay. So that makes sense, and I'm always curious to know because the different backgrounds. I think people find a sense of hope to find out, like, okay, I grew up like you two, right? Or I grew up like you guys, and now I'm in business. You know, I think people find relatability, and then they can kind of feel like, okay, I'm doing all right based on the stories and how you guys grew up.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So 7th grade, you guys are
Yeah.
best friends prior to 7th grade, or you guys
No,
were?
we met in 7th grade.
Oh, you met.
Met in 7th grade, and we just carried on from there. The story is how we met. Is we'll keep that between us. I don't want
just about to
I don't want the
ask.
viewers to know that one. Maybe I mean,
Sorry, but we're gonna have to know. So how
all
did
right.
you guys?
He's
how'd
a
you-
real ass friend. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
So, real like you want to tell them the real story?
Go for whatever you
He
want.
used to get picked on a lot,
Okay.
and then when we became friends, then like after that, he used to back him up a lot. No, it's the truth. This is what it is. This is a raw cut, baby. After that,
uncut.
raw uncut. Right, uncut.
said raw
Sorry,
uncut,
uncut. So he would back him up on every kind of like problem that he's going through, and I'm like, all right, we're boys now. Like my mind, when you're young, you're just like, he's my friend. Like we back him up all the time.
right.
Long story short, there was a day like I knew how we were really like close forever. This kid just jumped me from behind.
Who jumped? Wait, who
Some,
jumped? in?
some
Oh,
kid that
okay.
used to like pick on Matt, like this group of
Yeah,
kids,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
would
yeah.
back him up, and then I started backing him up,
Right.
Because I'm his boy now,
Yeah.
And he's his brother, so it's a connection. And when you're like I said, when you're a kid, you don't think, you're just like do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he takes this kid's head because we were walking away after like talking a bunch of back and forth. This kid just chokes me from mine. He takes the kid's head and just slams it on the locker.
Yo.
Slams it. So then I get up. It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin on the shirt. We start stomping him like no other.
Oh.
And then we got suspended for a few days.
Oh
It wasn't like nowadays where you get a ticket and all this like problems. Back then it was very different. Now you get suspended for a few days and you're done.
Right.
And then ever since then, we stayed close forever. Literally.
Well,
That's
you guys were friends prior to that.
Prior
right?
to that.
But
Months- and then
that's when
months-
it was like.
Literally.
sealed.
Months
Nice.
down the road, then 8th grade, 9th grade, and then kept in touch over like video chat, stuff like that.
Andrew, you're a beast, man.
Yeah.
Well, because we grew up in Michigan.
Yeah.
And so I left. When did we?
2011 or
After
2012.
freshman year of high school was completed.
Yeah, summer
So
2012.
we left in like 2012.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him since. What, like it was 10 years.
Yeah, it was like 2000. No, because we saw Vegas, whatever. But like 2021 is when I feel like really came to Arizona to like
Right.
see him here.
Right.
So
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just crazy to think. Like, it's cool that.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
but-
you for sharing, but that's crazy that you were at 7th grade. Like,
Yeah.
you're just going to go all in. So what made you guys even friends? Like, was there some sort of like interest that you both had, or is it just like a girl that you both were liking, or like?
I just said this story too at the best man speech I gave.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! You want the story that I did?
No.
Which one? How we became best friends or like close?
So like they're both like, they think the same. Like they think about business, and they think about, getting into a business like one day, and
The mindset is the
yeah,
same.
the mindset is the same.
How it all started though, from like
I
your question, it was
see.
in 7th grade, literally. So this is how we initially met. It was in a science class. We were taking a test, dead quiet. I'm telling you, we didn't even know each other's names. He just came in. He was like a new student to like that school.
Yeah.
I'm looking over at him, and he's like making me laugh, and my like leg is up. He made me laugh so hard, I ended up farting on the girl next to me in a dead silent class while we're taking a test. After that, then we actually had lunch together. I think like it was our lunch break or whatever during
Yeah.
school, and we literally sat together. And ever since then, we met each other. Then
Wow.
literally,
That's cool.
it's like a childhood
I like
story.
that. That's
it's
what
insane.
I'm saying. Yeah. It's like in a movie.
Literally,
Like if I was creating a movie, I'm like, how do I make these two like become friends in the movies?
That
and
is-
build
seriously.
a business and let's make him fart,
Yeah.
on a
That's,
girl.
and that, I swear to God, that's literally how it happened.
That's awesome.
It's insane how it happened.
Yeah.
And I always look back. I literally said that at the best man speech.
That's
too. I was
cool.
like, bro,
That's awesome. Well, it's very hard. I've had friends and some come and go,
Yeah.
and it's hard to find relationships like this.
Oh my God, yeah, I
right?
say it all
I'm
the
sure you
time.
guys have had the hard times, right? And maybe
Between each other?
Yeah.
Not really. Like
Oh,
hard
really?
times as in like
meaning like I don't
how
even know if I want to be
bus-
friends anymore. type
Hell
of thing.
no, not a chance. At least with me. I
Okay.
can't speak for him.
Yeah,
I can't speak for him.
I don't think I've ever been pissed off.
No way, never.
Are they telling the truth?
I
Yeah,
swear to God.
I'm not gonna lie, low key. Like they're always like they bounce off of one each other. Like it's never like
Never.
clashing.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
even if his idea is like quote unquote terrible to someone else's eye, like I said, I don't care because if it goes south, it goes south. But what happens if he gives that idea to where it's like it's the greatest thing that he does for us?
Like what happens is like he'll bounce an idea and then he'll bounce an idea
becomes,
back
like,
and then it
30 and
becomes
one.
like one good idea.
I see.
So 30 is
You
like
know.
into one.
Instead of clashing
So
and
it's
being
just
like,
like-
nah, that's a shitty idea.
Okay. I know you got something to say.
Literally, earlier.
Go for
Actually,
it.
actually, no.
He said enough.
He's kind of promo right here.
What happened? What's going on?
Rafi's my homie.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Cut this one
I
out.
see.
Cut
I
this part
see.
out.
Okay, I'm getting the dynamic from just
Yeah.
a few minutes here.
Yeah.
Because once we get to the four bros, I was gonna be like, how does it manage?
Yeah.
There's got to be a leader. Who's leading? Who makes a final say? Unless it's like that. But before we get to all that, because we can dive into it, I want to settle here because it started here. So. You're telling me you've been friends since 7th grade,
Yep.
and you guys never had a rocky road of a friendship where it's like you kind of grew apart, you kind of stopped talking, like it just has been locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we.
No
I-
girl
No.
Hell
problem.
no.
Or,
No way.
that's
I,
crazy.
not even just with him and me and he's like that too. I'm just speaking. Pretty much all of us are like that.
Right.
I don't think I would ever let a female get in between of any of my friends from here, like my closest people here to back in Michigan to where never. That's the worst way to end a friendship. And if you do, you're a scumbag.
Scumbag. He said
Straight
it. Listen
up.
to him.
Don't let a woman come involved, bro. Sorry. That's the worst way. I'm telling. That's the worst way to end a relationship, bro.
That's facts.
Clip
My
that.
bad, bro. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
clip that.
Thank you. Yeah, clip that. So, okay, fair enough. That's a very valuable, the friendship you guys have,
Yeah.
right? That's like unmatched. No one, I haven't seen, I've had a friend and we had some things hustle and tussle and now we're no longer friends. But it seems like you guys work things through no matter what. And I think that translates into the business. So let me ask you that. When there is a problem, and just so everybody knows, Four Bros, can you do the intro of what Four Bros does and where you guys are at, what you guys do, before we dive into Four Bros?
Yeah, so Four Bros Auto Detailing is owned and operated by us. We specialize in full ceramic coating services, paint correction, window tint, paint protection film, some vinyl wraps. So we do all the stuff that you need to get your vehicle protected and on the road and keep it protected from Arizona's harsh elements. But yeah,
There
we
you
have a
go.
location here in Chandler and Scottsdale. We do also offer mobile services. But if you need anything, we got you guys covered whenever.
It's true. They're crushing it. I'm just realizing you guys sat this way without trying, right? Like this just.
Honestly, this was the only open seat for me to come into, so I didn't care where I
Yeah,
sat.
literally we just sat.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of realizing these dynamics, right? And how you guys operate and the day to day.
Yeah.
And you guys sat this way, whether you guys realize or not, it just happened this way,
Yeah.
right? So my big question when it comes to business is who's the person that actually runs the show? Like at the end of the day, someone's got to say yes or no. In my opinion, whenever there's a business, even with partners, like unless you're a corporation with a board of members, but it's four of you guys, right? Is there someone that says, hey, no, like no matter what, there's a no?
Not really. Like there is like I'm serious. We see the way, at least me. I've seen it before with other people that do business. I don't like that. Because I'll run it even if they don't know. Like even if Matt might not be there and doesn't know, I'm serious. Like we all have to know on how to do it. We'll all come to an agreement. There is no like set no or set this. And even if someone does say no, like he'll sit us or he'll tell us or somebody will be like, no, let's try it this way. And then that person gets their gears working, bro. And then they're like, okay, maybe I should do it this way instead of just straight no.
Right.
There is no like set no, honestly.
That's hard. How do you guys manage that? Because I've worked with partners and it was not easy. So how do you guys handle this dynamic?
Yeah, I mean the way I treat it or even look at it, it's almost like a marriage. Like we talk about it. Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Versus, oh, your ideas, his ideas, better than mine or his. Or it's not who's better than who. We're all kind of in it together.
That's it.
But we'll just talk about it. We'll be like, so what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Or how can we improve it? How can we make it better. And if we're all on the same page, we'll kind of move forward with it. We haven't really just been like, well, he doesn't want to do it, so I'm just going to do it anyway.
Right.
If we're all as equally invested, we're in it together. Because if one thing affects him, it's going to affect all of us, and
Right.
it's going to affect him. We're in it as a team, and
Yeah.
Makes
we
it flow
started-
easy. Like the flow is just going. It's just easy to flow through.
Yeah.
That's how you grow faster. That's how we grew so fast.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun because you get paid to hang out with the boys.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no
Yeah.
egos involved. in
No,
this.
there's ego. No, there is. I'm not saying we don't have egos. There is.
Okay.
But it's more of an ego. It depends on who or what it is.
Right.
Like it might be them two always like going at it with each other, or like
Yeah.
sometimes like me and him, like when I used to be on the phones, we'll see who can sell more. But it's never like who's better than who. It's more like how much can we bring to this business. The ego for like let's say like for me, I do have an ego to a certain extent on being the best.
Right.
Not being better than them.
Yeah.
I'm talking being the best one out here in this state.
Yeah.
You can put me against anybody. It sounds egotistic. Whatever. I don't care.
Right.
But if you don't carry yourself that way, if you have a guy coming in, how do you feel? Oh, I feel like I'm 10% good. No, I'm 120.
Right.
You ain't going to touch me.
Yeah.
That's how we are. But then it brings his confidence up. And then his.
Yeah.
And then his. He's like, damn, that's shit.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Yeah, it's. I've watched a lot of business, videos, YouTube, and usually whenever it comes down that there's multiple partners in a business, doesn't always end.
Oh,
well
hell no, it doesn't.
Because there's too many opinions.
Yes.
One person thinks that business needs to go that way. So I'm really. You guys are how many years in at this point?
We put 4 years? No, 5. I don't know. So we started off.
Keeps going higher.
So
Like-
we started with mobile services. So we just
Right.
started out of the van.
That's, yeah.
Did that for a little bit, and then we found our Chandler location.
Right.
Started growing that.
Right.
Fast forward about a year and a half later, we ended up opening Scottsdale location, our Scottsdale shop, and we're killing here as well. And now we're like, man, what's going to be the next thing? So we're looking
Yeah.
into
It's all 8. Like all of us total are like 8 years together. Total that we've been doing it in Michigan. And then they've been doing it here, but now it's just merged into one since we came out here.
I see.
So the experience has been 8+. It's good. It's 8+ years now across
Right.
the board.
Right. I see. Okay.
But difference is 2 of us were in Michigan, 2 of us were here in Arizona. But Arizona's market is a lot better. So I'm like,
Yeah, even like the way we had it set when we went in, so we all lived together, and we're like, all right, how are we gonna make this thing work? We're gonna figure out. So I used to work full time prior to owning this, and he was like, all right, well, I'll be doing some of the behind the scenes. I love doing behind the scenes. So it's like keep this business floating, payroll, profits, losses, stuff like that. So I would do that full time when I worked full time. And then just kind of slowly ended up doing more into my business and just loved making my own money and doing my own thing.
So you guys lived together at some point.
shit, all of
Yeah,
us did.
for almost three years.
Something like that, yeah. And now we just run from him.
So you guys lived together, managed the business. You guys were married, like
Yeah,
literally.
that's what he was saying. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
He's
like
for
when
real.
he-
That's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, he reached out to me in 2020, 23, 22?
Yeah, something like that.
2022, and we're just like, so in Michigan, you know the weather conditions out there,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't,
crazy.
Not all
you
year
can't
round.
do what we
Right.
do
Not all
out
year
here
round.
in Arizona. And I was just like, hey man, come out here, stay with me for free, let's work it out, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, you can pack and go back. Like there's no attachment. And like
Yeah.
it literally took me a week and a half, 2 weeks. He packed his car up, drove across the
Yeah,
states,
me and Rafi.
moved into my other room,
Literally.
and started doing. I mean, we knocked out like 10 mobile details the first 2 days he was here. Ended
guys
up
were
getting
rocking.
into a location like 2 weeks. I mean, he didn't even
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I'm ready to move it, and call it permanent." I was like, "Hey, man, I found a location in Chandler on Craigslist." He's like, "Nah, Craigslist doesn't."
Because
have good
Craigslist,
stuff."
before the context gets out of there, Arizona's Craigslist is normal. Michigan's is very different.
Yeah, I forgot
It's
about
so
Craigslist
nuts.
to be honest.
Yeah,
but
literally.
Back
But,
then, okay.
Yeah, that's how I found that Chandler location, and we went to go tour it, and the landlord was like, "Hey, this will be available for rent in 3 months, but there's 2 tenants, and I want you guys to commit to both sides." That's like 4,000 square feet of.
Yeah.
We're going from mobile services to 4,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Overhead, whether we have jobs or not. Didn't think it through. I knew a lot of people, so that's where we got a lot of our jobs, but I knew that was going to come to an end at some point. But we just,
Dialing it back because I'm curious to ask, what's with the risk averse? Like, you guys are just so used to taking risk. right? It's not normal, or you don't see that much, right? A lot of people want to play it safe. They want to get to college. They want to get their job and make good income, and then retire at 65. What is the drive of taking so much risk? Why?
I got tired of maxing out on how much I would get paid.
Okay,
And
so
I always
why not?
wanted to make more and to have just to, not even spending money and have a nice car. It's more of like investments, properties. I've always wanted to have real estate. I've always wanted to do all the stuff that you see that you should be doing, investing in. And I know I would not be able to do that in a normal job. So I did high school online because I was working full time with my parents.
Right.
We were both were.
Oh wow.
And so we just started from there, and we just wanted to get a head start. So I didn't go to college, and the amount of time I spent not going to college in real life, that prepared me to where I'm at today and where we're at today.
So what would you guys say about college nowadays? Is that something that people need to, I mean, we need doctors and engineers, but like, what would you say to the person listening that's 18, deciding, should I start a business? Should I go to college? Give us some advice.
No, Lewis actually tried college out.
Oh yeah, I
He
think I'm the
gave
only
it
one
a
that went to
shot.
college.
Yeah, I didn't go to college either.
You didn't go?
Yeah, he was the one who
You,
gave
I
it a
went.
you
try.
didn't go. You
Yeah.
didn't. Okay.
I went for a few years.
I just became a trainer. I was
Okay.
like, I literally, once after high school, I was like, what's going to be the easiest thing was some sort of credential.
Yeah.
And I was either going to be cutting hair or saw the trainer.
Yeah.
I liked the trainer situation because I did all my certifications online
Yep.
and I was able to work full time. So I was like, well, let me give it a try.
I see. So college. What's the take on college? Honest opinion.
You want me to go? You got anything?
Go, you
Okay,
go
'cause
ahead. I'll give
this is
mine.
how I really think about it. I don't think it's a sucker's game like people think it is, where they kind of. I know a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, but yeah, don't go to college. Realistically, not everyone can be an owner. Not everyone can do business oriented things. It's not easy. There's some months or weeks that you might not make nothing for months.
Yeah.
Not many people will sit with them well. You got to be like very sick minded in a way to do something like that. Be like, yeah,
Right.
if you don't get paid for a year, are you okay with that? You got bills? Yeah, fuck it.
Right.
Like I want to take that risk. But for college, I went when I graduated high school because I started the detailing and everything when I was 20. So I graduated, I was like 18. You don't know what you want to do. I know I wanted to be FBI agent, narcotics agent. So I was like, I have to go to school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, such a turnaround. But then I'm like, dude, I didn't care for that as much. So then I quit my warehouse job. Then I got into a hospital job. So I worked at this place in Michigan called Beaumont. So it's one of the bigger hospitals, has like 8 locations or something. Then I went to school, changed my degree for nursing. Those are the fields that I would recommend. And I love that job. I'm not even going to lie. That was actually my favorite job. So I did that for about 4 years while detailing.
Wow.
I was doing detailing and working there like 50, 60 hours a week, detailing as much as I possibly can on the weekends. Like it was a lot. But depending on, like you said, the job, doctors, lawyers, engineers, nurses especially.
Right.
Shout out to the nurses. Underrated job, underappreciated like no other.
All my Filipinos.
Yeah,
Yes,
seriously.
sir. All the first responders. What's
Yeah,
up?
all of
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
So stuff of that nature, it's needed,
Right.
and there are people who do enjoy it tremendously, and
Yeah.
I do think that it's a necessity if needed. I
Well-
don't think it's where it's like it's a waste of time unless you're going for something certain, which I'm not going to say. I'll keep
Yeah.
that to me.
Yeah, well, there's so a stigma around entrepreneurs, business owners looking at people go to college like they're wasting their life, right? And we all have friends that are in college or going through it, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you guys don't have that type of like, college is stupid. Like,
No.
you guys don't look at it that way.
Yeah, when I always tell everyone, like, go get money this. It doesn't have to necessarily mean go own a business. You can get money any kind of way you want. That's working a 9 to 5. That's fine.
Right.
As long as you're just getting something in life rather than just sitting on a couch all day doing nothing.
Right.
Just get money. Like, if you have to get money a certain way, get money. Flip a thing. And then you have your 9 to 5. And then on weekends, you can flip a car or whatever
Yeah.
you need to do or flip this or
Yeah.
learn this. Stocks, whatever it is. There's ways.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't necessarily mean strictly, business.
Right.
Like I said, you have to have a special mind for that. You have to have a sick mind to be like I said, like there's months where we got no pay, but it's all reinvesting to the business to grow as fast as we did.
Yeah.
But not many people will do that.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that actually, but right before I do, it seems like everybody here and people I've always been around associated with in business, they've all had different backgrounds, right? but they all have jumped from job to job, or they started this and that. And it sounds like that's the same with you guys. Like, hey, let's do this. It failed. Let's go on the next thing, right? That is something that you're talking about. It's not easy to stomach, right? Why do you guys think, what's the traits of the entrepreneur? And I don't like saying entrepreneur so much because it's like used overly, right? I'm just saying, what makes someone that can handle this type of business or this type of life? Like, what do you need as a person?
You got to be tough. And you got to really be confident with what you're doing, because we've had some customers that just decide to make it seem like we don't know what we're doing. I've had customers that will come in here, like, get in my face and be like, you did this, this, and that. And I'm like, listen, you're not even in this industry. You saw something on YouTube and you think, oh, that's how it is, or whatever it was. So you got to be confident. You got to be able to speak what you believe in. And, I mean, how are you going to tell me I'm doing my job wrong?
Right.
I'm not coming to your workplace and saying, hey, you're doing this wrong. Or I'm going to a fast food restaurant saying you cooked this thing wrong. How am I going to tell you what I don't know?
Right.
So you got to really stand tough behind your product or behind your business, especially as a small business, because it's not easy to run one nowadays. It's all about these big chains with heavy advertising dollars.
Yeah.
Will take you. So yeah, if we didn't have the work ethics that we do, I don't think we'd be where we're at today.
What about a failed business? Like, let's say this quote unquote failed. You guys would just go on to the next thing, right?
100%.
But what is that? Like, what's the factor to that someone else doesn't have?
I think it's the willpower. Honestly, like it's the.
I'm not gonna have a boss.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
working for another person.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally.
my wife does. She's 8 to 5, doesn't like it, and I'm gonna plan on being able to get her out of it as well, because
Right.
you live once.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna be miserable?
I resonate with that. That's
Yeah.
exactly why I managed and owned roofing companies, but I had partners, but they were kind of like my boss because they had the money, right? I
Yeah.
couldn't even handle that, So I agree with that, right? If you don't want to work for somebody, you choose this life like by default. This is what
Yeah.
it's like.
And
Your choice
we,
has consequences.
Yeah, we wake
Yeah.
up, I wake up looking forward to going to work, and I
Yeah.
can guarantee majority of people don't wake up looking forward to going to work,
Yeah,
because
that's true.
I don't know anybody that loves their job.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that loves their job. Like, I wake up and I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, I can tell you guys do. You guys are very passionate about it. I when I quit my job at Apple, my wife told me, she was like, "You're bigger than Apple." I was like, "What are you talking about?" I worked 3 years and 3 sets of interviews to work at Apple, the mothership. That's what we called it. And when I finally when I quit, and she told me I was bigger than Apple, I couldn't understand it. But now looking back, right, working for myself. If I didn't take that jump, I wouldn't be here today, right?
Exactly.
So belief in self, like you're saying, having confidence and everything like that. So tell me about some of the hard times, because right now, it sounds like you guys are doing really good, right? But there have been months where you weren't even eating, and you were putting it right back into the business. And that was a decision you guys all made together,
Yes.
right? You could have just shut this thing off and moved on to the next thing. Why did you guys continue to do this as a team, like even through the hardest times?
Well, all these other businesses that are up and going, I'm sure have struggled through it at some point. So we knew something was going to take off. Something has to take off.
It's
And
like
we
how
just
they say like
kept
that.
going.
Literally like that corniest saying of all time. Or our moms all tell us, our dads tell us, everyone, oh, you got to be patient. Yeah, it's patience. Literally, you have to be patient. And eventually, like how he said, it'll take off. As long as you're just patient enough. It's like, I don't know if anyone's religious or whatever it is. God does not see us working this hard and be like, yeah, you guys are not going to do nothing. If you work this hard, there's no way you're not going to make it in life. There's just no way.
Right.
I just don't believe that for a second, that you will not make it working as hard as, like, not just us, you or the next person or whatever the next person is doing in life. Like, when they're
Right.
working that hard towards a goal, you're going to make it in life. Guaranteed.
Yeah, well, you guys all have the same drive. I think that's what I keep trying to understand. Is like it's
Yeah.
so hard for me to grasp that each person sitting in front of me, like there's 4 of you guys, are all in alignment with something. That's so rare.
Yeah, man, we need paper.
Yeah,
That's really the main
money.
goal, is just you find one goal that you all want to achieve, and then it makes you,
But you gotta like each other.
true.
right?
I mean, we do. We hang out
You gotta
outside
eat
of
bread
work
together?
Yeah, we do.
Who goes into
we
business
break-
hating each other, though?
Yeah.
You don't.
That's
You
what-
end up
you know?
going into business liking each other, and then the majority of the time you end up hating each other.
No, I
Right?
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like we're business partners. We're friends. We hang out on the weekends. We do stuff like
Bro,
that's, those are this is the group.
Yeah, how do you guys manage work? Like, do you guys go out to eat and like, hey, we're not talking about work, or is it all just kind of?
Oh no, it's always about
It's
work.
all-
It's always about. But
It's
it's a
always,
good thing
man.
though. That's what That's what it is. That's our whole life. It's just built around it. So
Right.
it's just all we do is talk about work.
Do the misses like sometimes like get annoyed that you guys are always all together and like life is always if you do something it's involving them, it's like all mixed together. I'm just thinking these questions. Is that sometimes get in the way? Like, hey, can we be separate from this, or there's no way to be separate from it? Like, is there stuff like that? Because I know you're married.
We're single.
Yeah, you're single.
Yeah,
That's them too.
Yeah. So is that kind of a topic sometimes?
Hey, any ladies out there, by the way,
That's
let me
it.
know.
Yeah, there you
Come
go.
on
There's
now.
Let me know, Scottsdale area, 25 years old. Hit me up.
No, we don't really have. So when I first got in my relationship 6-7 years ago, I talked about it. I was like, hey, like my whole goal is to open a business at some point. I don't know what I was gonna do. I was managing managing a gym full time. That's all I knew and all I did.
Right.
And so we just talked about it. I was like, hey, my plan is to always open up my own business. And I saw it with my parents and stuff like that. So, no, we don't really have any of the problems. And she's
So
part
you're
of
just
it.
transparent
she
with
comes
her.
she hangs out with us.
Yeah, I saw
and-
her at the event that I went to.
Yeah,
She was
so
showing-
it's, we're all just kind of hang out with each other. We're all friends. We're all family. We're all here. We look at like the long term. I
Right.
don't look at how much I'm making right now. I want to make the end goal.
Yeah.
12, 20, $30,000 a month type of thing. Like
Yeah.
we're looking for big numbers. We don't settle for. Yeah, I don't like living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to be paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, what is that for? Like, why is that? Why don't you want to? Like, I guess what's the actual factor behind it? Like, yeah, we don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, but is there some sort of driving factor behind you that as you grew up, you saw this and you wanted to make sure you stay away from that, something like that?
Yeah, growing up, that's all I saw, and that was what surrounded me. From bad habits to all the stuff, and I looked and I was like, I don't want to be like that growing up. I don't want to have to worry about, I can't go buy gas till the 10th of this month because that's when I'm getting my direct deposit. What if direct deposit doesn't go through? What if you don't get your paycheck when you need it?
Yeah.
So I saw it all the time. I don't like asking for people for help. I don't like borrowing, and I don't want to be that person. Oh, Andrew's calling. He must need something.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I did never wanted to be that person. And
Yeah.
the people that I was surrounded by growing up, those were those people,
Right.
and we knew what they were calling for,
Mm.
and they'd only come around when they needed things.
Right. Right.
And so I just didn't want to be that person. I wanted to have a genuine relationship. I want people. I mean, you're here once. Your status, image, growing up, it's just you have one shot.
Yeah.
Be good to people, and they'll be good to you, and take care of yourself. And I'm not gonna push my problems to you and be like, it's your fault
Yeah.
that I'm in the situation I'm in.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm accountable for that.
Society's not like that, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a bit like government needs to take care of me,
Yeah.
like all this stuff needs to take care of me. So, I sounds like the upbringing of your families taught you. I'm a second generation or first generation American, like my family. So is it the same for you guys? Like your family came from another country, they all moved here, so we all share that type of energy. Like it's all on me, it's on my shoulders to figure things out. What I wanted to add to that was. I never told the story of why I started the podcast, and it'll go into the next reason why. But I went to this managed a roofing call center, and I was at this convention. There's this big guy, he has millions of followers. He was there. There's only 20 of us. We get to spend time with this guy, and I asked the guy. He was talking about why he started business, and he has all these businesses he manages. And I was just he was talking about his childhood, and he was like, yeah, my dad, this and that, and I just never want to do this again, right? I don't want to be there. And I asked him, hey, man, are you doing this? Is this because you're happy and hopeful, you're just living life, or is this out of fear? And I asked just a genuine question. And the guy got flipping mad. He was like, why the F does it matter if I'm doing this out of fear or not? I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, geez, my bad, right? My question I want to bring to you is because this is the reason why I'm curiously asking people, what drives you as a person? Is it the fear of trying to not be what was in the past, like how I grew up, seeing that, or is it that I'm just hoorah gun ho, I can't wait for life? I want each of you guys to be able to answer that. So we'll go down the line.
I mean, there's a lot of different things that can, drive you. Like for me, it's sometimes you just think of that freedom, or going back to his point where he said I don't want to work for somebody, So like there's multiple things that can really drive somebody, and like for me, there's so many different things that can drive me, but really for me, it's like when I found my actual like purpose on why I wanted to do it. It was more of like that purpose alone just drove me to do like what we're doing now.
So this is right now. What you're doing now is what you feel called to do.
Well, I mean, the real purpose is just, being broke is enough,
Yeah, literally.
Right.
If being broke isn't enough, then
Yeah.
like there is no, so that's just like a drive that like,
Yeah.
everybody wants money. That's it.
Yeah.
So like if that's what drives you, that's what drives me.
Fair.
So,
Fair. Appreciate it.
I think, yeah, like the purpose thing, like he was saying, I don't think it's necessarily our calling to just do this for a living.
Right.
Because I think we're all pretty smart and capable of owning multiple different forms of businesses.
Right.
So I think it's just the corny ass word, entrepreneurship. Different forms of income, guaranteed is what we're capable of. But yeah, 100%. That's what I look at. Like, what can I do? My purpose is to take care of my surroundings around me, such as like my mom, my dad. When they get older, I want to take care of them. Even like for me, and they don't need to, none of them need to get taken care of. But it's like we all look out and take care of each other, whether, whatever in case it's needed.
Right.
So it's more of like that kind of purpose where we see, or I've grown up around, like I've seen some like richer folks and everything, and I'm like, damn, like you are taking care of anyone whenever they need it, just like that.
Yeah.
That's how I want it to be. I'm like, damn, that's like if someone, like I always say to some of my boys back home in Michigan, I want to be the one where they come to, instead of going to a bank asking for 20% interest on a loan. I'm like, bro, just pay me back when you want. And I know you have this dream and aspiration of owning this and owning that. Like, try it out. Here's 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever.
I see.
Having a purpose of just freedom too. Just getting up, doing what you want. And like how Andrew said, just being happy doing it. As corny as that sounds too, literally. When you wake up, at least having that purpose of, I enjoy what I do, even if I'm not making it, and there's an end goal,
Yeah.
bro, you'll get up and do it. You'll get up and want to do it.
Yeah.
Even on the days you're like, damn, I do not want to do this right now.
Right.
You get up and be like, nah, like, why not?
Yeah.
It's gonna go over like nothing. Time flies.
Yeah.
It flies, man. Seriously, it's insane how it flies.
I agree. I like your outlook. I like your take.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
Yeah. What drives you?
I was
Like,
just
yeah, I know.
paying attention to that. I was
Yeah,
like,
me
hold
too.
on.
Me too. There's a lot to say to that, but I want to make sure we get a chance. What drives you? Like, what? Or is it out of fear? Is it like, or aspiration? I'm not saying one is wrong or the other. Like, I'm curious to know.
I think like just like a small thing is like just simple thing. Growing up, I'd be around people, kids or even kids would be like, "Hey, can I get this or can I have this?" And parents would be like, "No." Like,
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to be the parent that's always going to say no, even for the smallest things. I'm not gonna have my kids. My kids are not gonna be spoiled, but
Right.
also like I want to give them the quality of life that I didn't always have because my parents were always working. We
Right.
never really took vacation, never did any of that. And my thing was my worth is more than $20 an hour. And especially I'm okay with making a little bit less to have the flexibility and be able to be at events and be with family, be at home, hang out with friends and stuff, and not have to be, I got to make this $100 a day and
Right.
I got to do it.
Yeah.
And there's some hard days, there's some good days, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade that for anything else. It's all about, it's flexible, I like it, it's fun, and I do it whenever I want. I make my own schedule. We
Yeah.
make our own schedule. We make it work with what's going to work for us and for everybody else around us.
I like it. Yeah, most of everyone's answers, Matt's going to go next, but like everyone's wanting to give back around them, and then there's freedom to it, right?
Absolutely.
And I love those answers so far.
Just simple freedom, and just always be positive, and just don't let anybody tell you what to do, and just keep going and just chase your dreams.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I totally agree.
and then just, and also never be afraid of anything.
The one who's mostly afraid. I love that.
Have FOBO, it's all the detailing ceramic coating.
The one who's mostly afraid, don't be afraid.
I
Don't
love
be
that.
afraid of nothing.
I love that. Thanks for sharing, because that's kind of the basis of what this is. I'm just curious to know everybody's answer to it, because I don't care what the background is. The end goal is to make the money, right?
Yeah.
But what's sad to me is like, even if you get all the money, Like, what if you hated what you did? What
Exactly.
if you were in fear the whole time, like just hating life? Like, so I'm still in journey of trying to figure out that for myself. You know what I mean? So talk to me about, where you guys are headed, right? Or actually, can you give us insight to how Four Bros manages, how you guys manage Four Bros at its current state? You're trying to grow, right? Maybe it's slower, or maybe it's too busy. Like, what are some of the growing pains or pains you're facing right now in the business?
To be honest, the biggest thing is bringing customers in. We got so everybody has different roles in the business. Well, I'll do sales. He'll do sales. He'll follow up reviews, stuff like that. I think the biggest thing is having good people that are like-minded and that see the vision. My whole goal is like to have our whole staff and everybody that works with us and that started with us and stuck with us from the bottom to where we get to and where we're at. I want to take care of them too. I want to be able to, hey, you can work Monday through Friday and have weekends off and get paid and make a living. Because you can ask all of our guys that work with us. We're all friends. We all hang out. We're all chill. We're all in the same thing. They're all trying to make it work and make it happen.
Right.
Yeah, I think besides work is you get these bigger companies. Especially in our industry, there's a lot of BS. Everybody will say, I'll give you free this, free that. And like, for example, ceramic coating. You go to a car wash and they'll try to sell you a $20 ceramic coating.
What?
Average consumer doesn't realize you got to do all the prep work to have ceramic coating chemically adhere to your vehicle's clear coat, crystallize, cures, and do its thing. And me guaranteeing you that's going to last you the next 9 years. Point being, customer will hear ceramic coating and think all ceramic coatings are treated equally. So here I'm coming in here as a small business, trying to educate you, trying to educate whoever what ceramic coating is or what paint protection film is. But then you got a bigger car wash company that's selling $5 car washes that's costing you a lot more to get your car fixed,
Right.
selling you this $20 service. So yeah, biggest thing is having us be heard to people as being smaller, because there's only so much money we can spend per month
Right.
to spread our word. And we're 1-2 locations. We're not 50 locations where I have an advertising budget of $100,000 a month.
Right.
I can only spend $5,000-$10,000 a month, $15,000 a month, so thin with 2 locations.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the biggest thing is all the wrong stuff that's out there.
We just try to be upfront, straight up honest, upfront as they come. Literally, whatever they ask us, it's the direct answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like there's like how Andrew was saying, going back to his point, there's so much BS out there that they don't even believe us. We are giving them the straight, honest answer, and they don't even believe it. Oh, it doesn't need, like, for instance, like the prep phase. Oh, it doesn't need that much. Well, who told you that? I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is guaranteed. It's better that. How does it even go? How does it even make sense that more prep is going to do more damage before applying the coating? Like,
Yeah.
it's just too much BS that people are cutting corners out there. So these people are working hard for their money.
Yeah.
So we look at. I'm not about to take money from hardworking people and not even give them the proper care that their vehicle deserves. That they're spending all that on.
I feel like this industry is very new, even though it's been around.
Yeah.
But I think that ceramic coating and all these fancy words that
Yeah.
like clickbaity words kind of get around, and people are really trying to figure out what the truth is.
Yes.
And I know you guys are trying to stick to that truth as much as possible.
Yeah.
So you're facing the race to the bottom as far as pricing, right? Like, people are just giving the lowest prices. You're trying to hold your prices, and you're facing that battle of customers coming in and out.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that challenge, because other business owners are right now in other industries are facing that, right? Even in roofing,
Yeah.
like there's like chucking a truck, doing it for the stupid cheapest price. How do you guys handle staying at the price that you're at and making sure that they pay it?
I think a customer that thinks like us and that would shop like us would choose us. So we attract a certain customer and clientele. I know what my product is. I warranty all our products. You call me in a year from now, I'll tell you how to do it. I tell you how to maintain your vehicle after. And if you don't even choose us, I'll tell you, hey, what separates us from someone else. Or I would tell you what to watch out for at other places. So that's kind of the biggest thing, is just being, just
You're giving them the full-on education,
yeah,
whether
so
they
like
give it to you. or
that's
not.
like one thing. That's one reason, or one thing that we talked about when we got into business was, I've always had stuff done to my vehicles. I've had lifted trucks, window tint, PPF, ceramic coating, and all that. And like I had one negative experience, or a couple of negative experiences with a couple shops. But one thing was like I went in for a quote for a window tint, and they quoted me $300, for example, and I go back there 3 hours later, 4 hours later, go pick up, and the bill is $700. I'm like, so what? Why? Well, it took me a little bit. It took me longer to install the windshield, to install that film. And my thing is, hey, I get it. I get time is money because I'm in it. But you should tell me that, communicate that to me. Or like I will quote someone, and there's jobs that took us 2 days longer than we expected. I'm not going to go back to a customer and be like, hey, you got to pay my daily rate, my daily hour, however these shops charge or how we do it. We just, hey, if I'm going to tell you this is it, that's what you're getting, and I'll keep you communicated.
That's hard to find nowadays. Good ethical business. So you guys aren't into. Of course, you want to make money. You're trying to get there and make a lot of money, but you're not trying to do it fast. Like you guys are really wanting to grow the company.
Yeah, I literally said. I forgot who I told this to the other day too. I think we were talking at home, or to my cousin, or whatever it was. People that try to make quick money, you'll never last. You might find it for a few months, and you're done after that.
Right.
If you're looking for that quick money scheme, the quick money, all that, you'll never find it like so manageable to do.
Yeah.
It's easy. Yeah, you'll find it quick to the point.
Right.
But after that, then what?
Yeah.
You make the quick money, then you're out of it. Then you got to find another form of quick money. Mm-hmm. It's all about staying long term, like carry on for, let's say if we all had kids or whatever the case might be down the road. You know, you want to leave something to your kids in case, they might need to get educated on someone's end. Like for me, I would like my kid to have a certain well-educated way or education to carry on in case he wasn't good at business.
Right.
There is no quick money. Like, there's no such thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's just hard to. You guys are really standing by your word. I'll throw that out there. I rent an office here, and they do work in the back. They rent a space, and there's been a time where something happened. You guys did something on a car. It didn't work out. Water spots still came back, and you brought the car back. You fixed it. You didn't charge anything more. You took care of the client.
Yep.
Like that's hard to find nowadays, right? When you guys make mistakes.
Even the customer was shocked. He goes like, "Are you sure I'm not paying?" I was like, "Yes." I was like, "100%." He goes, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yes." 1,000%. He goes, "We have the shop down the road." I was like, "Yeah, we're not the other shop down the road."
Yeah.
That's just straight up that answer. We're not the other shop down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you guys are still in progress to get to building the business. So what else outside of Four Bros does everybody do? I know you do a few things. Real estate, Jim?
Yeah, I do real estate. I coach 10, 12 classes a week right now, but real estate, I plan on trying to do a little bit more of that. Some rentals.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But the biggest thing is I have all the other stuff going in the background, but my main focus is Four Bros because I want to be the cobblestone of Four Bros.
I like that.
It's gonna be out there. You may not know me now. You'll know me. Give me some time.
Yeah,
it's only been a year and a half.
There.
Only a year and a half, and people already knowing who we are.
Yeah.
We're already on the map on what it is.
Yeah. The
All these
podcast will be a testament. Like they're gonna look back at this podcast.
Come on, 100% look back. I mean? That's if we don't have more than just Four Bros or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, whatever.
It's gonna be a lot more than just Four Bros. So there are gonna be other things you guys might be looking at or whatever the case might be, but it'll be owned by us.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, here's how I look at it. I don't think there's many people that's willing to wake up and go to work for free on some days.
100%. That's
what
guaranteed.
took us to where we're at because we don't live above our means. We spread our money thin. If we got, like for example, if we had $1,000 to spend, or if we had $1,000 to just use for the month, hey, we got $1,000. We got nothing else. I mean, because whether we got work or not, we got rent due on the first.
Yeah.
Now we got 2 rents.
I was just thinking about that story.
We got 2 leases. I mean, we got pressure washers breaking. We got stuff like that. So it's not just our paycheck. And we actually, there's days that we make less than our guys that work there.
Literally.
Yeah.
As owners, operators that run it, we're the face of the company. We're doing it all. There's very little people that's willing to do what we can do. Everybody thinks about now.
Yep.
A lot of people are not ready for like that reality.
Right now, I think about let me put the time and investment now and see what the future is going to look like versus I need instant gratification.
Yeah, I was about to say no instant
because
gratification.
I mean, it's like food and everything else. Food's instant gratification.
Yeah.
It's what's just alcohol and everything else. It's just I want it now and I feel the greatest, and that's why people are impulse buyers and end up buying cars that are worth more than what they're bringing in.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't need to do that.
That's how it is. Like in the beginning, especially because I was laughing with him right here. I left my home address in the beginning when I first came here. My dad gets like this note from like the my car loan. So I drive a normal car like the Kia Niro. It's affordable.
Yeah.
But there's times, like I said, we're in the beginning of the business. We're not making money, nothing. Literally 2 months, 3 months, I'm not making a payment. They're about to repo my car. I'm like, hey, they find it. That's how. That's what I was thinking of. That's what I don't care.
Yeah.
But now it's been paid out. It's done now.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things where it's like you just have to have that mindset of
That's
like
crazy.
you're not making money. What do you do?
Yeah.
Come take the car if you can find me.
You know, if I were to start this business, like more people within the business means less profit for me, right? Like
Yeah.
if I owned it 100%, it's
Yes.
like I'd be making all 100% of the profit. So you guys are going in knowingly that you're going to be making less profit because you're sharing amongst all of you guys, right?
Yeah.
And you know, whoever owns the majority, or if you guys are equal, it doesn't matter. It's just that you guys are all going to be making less because you're all taking a share of that
Yeah.
profit, right? And yet that's a huge risk. You got to make more money. Like you got to bring in more sales to make sure each one of you guys make more money, right? You
Yeah.
guys knew that going into it,
Yeah.
so it wasn't ever an issue.
No.
But most people can't stomach not taking a paycheck for X amount of weeks, X amount of months, and then continuing the same job. Most people go off and find another job and
Exactly.
and then start something new. What I like about this setup is this, like just listening to the Bible, and it talked about how
Yeah.
one head is one person is not good. Two people are better than one, right? Because you know the one person can't keep themselves warm, right? They need a second person, and then three makes it even like better. Like it's hard to break a 3-person cord. You guys are 4 and truly able to manage a business. So when one person's down, someone else is taking care of someone, right? So can we talk about each person's like role? Who's the guy that cheers everybody up? Who's the guy that, you know, snaps us back into work? Like, hey, we need to get back into it. What is that dynamic like?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
I mean, we all got our days,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Like one day, you know, one of us will be down and the other will just lift us up. You know, everyone has their own days,
Right.
you know. So everybody's uplifting. It depends on the day, you know.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think we're all uplifting
Yeah.
together,
good hype, man.
you know.
Yeah.
He's pretty good hype.
You're the hype man?
I get
To
I
a
don't
certain
know.
extent, yeah. He's a
Okay.
pretty
I
good
think
hype
I
man.
think we're all the same though.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, I feel like we all can hype each other up and build
Yeah.
off each other.
Right.
So
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and the answers are always the same, which is just blowing my mind.
Dude, that's
Usually
what I'm
it's
telling you.
like-
That's straight up how it is. Like we don't.
bro, we just like molded into each other after being around each other and just
Yeah.
like going
Yeah.
to the same goal. Like
Yeah.
we just molded into the same fucking person.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I don't know if I can cuss on here.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah.
Plenty of people.
But
does, yeah.
yeah,
You're
no,
good.
we just molded into the same person essentially, and it's
Well, you
like,
have to.
Yeah.
You really do.
we still have our different mindset or like different ways of thinking about certain things, but like
Right.
for the most part, we're the same person, you know.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's cool about working together is that you're just working with yourself at that point, you know. Having a conversation and like having the same interests. It's just like how he said, you get paid to hang out with the boys.
Yeah.
You know.
You guys all love cars. It's like
Yeah.
Literally.
just a bunch of kids washing cars, right? And
Yep.
having fun together.
It's cool, and
Yeah.
that's what makes the months that you don't get paid, or like the weeks you don't get paid.
Yeah.
That's what makes those months fun, you know.
Yeah.
Even though you're not getting paid, you're still having a good time,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. You guys
enjoying
are
what
always
you're
laughing
doing.
whenever you guys are back there.
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good meeting good people like you too, because it makes it easier on us, like, and the
Yeah.
experience we're having, you know.
Yeah.
So-
Except him. He's always pissed. He's always mad. I'm gonna put that on his.
Why?
Oh, he's an angry
Come on,
person.
man. It's like, give us a little
Angry
bit of reason
person.
why. What happened?
Nothing. He just wakes up angry.
Well, it's just, I get angry sometimes, and it's okay. It's normal.
Yeah, it is. It is.
He's the thinker of the group.
Okay.
That guy will think about everything.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
man. I'm like, I'm a funny man. I was like, it's gonna be okay. There's 3 other guys in the same
Literally.
situation.
Mm.
Like, you think I'm just gonna let you go down, and we're just
Yeah.
gonna watch you go down? Like, it's all of us in it.
Dude.
My name's on it as equally as yours and his and everybody. And
That's huge.
Yeah.
That makes me emotional actually thinking about it. Like
Yeah.
you guys are in this together.
Yeah.
Like you saying it like that, like I'm sure you guys had those nights where you're just eating, ramen noodles. Like what are we gonna do?
Or sometimes tuna out of a can.
No. What's the other one you say? What's good? A bowl?
Oh yeah, ice and water. or the best one. The best one I've ever had though was sleep for dinner. Sleep for dinner was the best one.
You guys ever had sleep for dinner?
Yeah, sleep for dinner is the best
Put that on
one.
the shirt.
Yeah,
Literally.
sleep for
I
dinner.
eat sleep for dinner or something like that.
Unfortunately, but
Yeah.
fortunately at the same time, it makes you look back
Yeah.
and be like, damn.
It builds
How
you
many
up,
times?
you know. It
Seriously,
builds you
does
up.
build
It
you
builds
up
your character.
insane.
Like, it just, you know, it
Yes.
it enhances your thinking in ways to
Literally.
like, it almost like puts you in survival mode,
Right.
and it prepares you for life in general.
Yeah.
You know, and how to conquer like any obstacle.
Yeah.
You know.
I just power like when he said that, like I can see it. Like I'm like you sometimes. I'm like thinking about every possible scenario of like what's gonna happen. But for someone to be like, hey, it's gonna be all right. Like my name's on this. Like it's gonna be good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's hard to find.
Yeah,
So I'm sure you guys are thankful of like each other. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you're at, like
for sure.
you guys express that. Hopefully, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, even like there's times that they have to take a couple weeks off for family vacation or whatever. Go to
WWE.
California.
Might put us on the spot, bro.
Hey, don't
Do all
expose us,
that.
but we did go to WrestleMania. Though.
But like we wouldn't be like, hey man, you guys were gone for 2 weeks.
Wow.
What about us?
Yeah, no one, yeah, we don't really think
Like-
like that. Who like we don't care.
Yeah, I just got married and then I was out of town when did all that out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You
It was 3 weeks.
well, maybe it's
2? No, like week and a half, 2?
12 days. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they allowed me to like not have
Yeah.
to deal with
I was about to say
anything.
fast 3 weeks. I
But,
was just
like-
like counting.
And it's, you know, the
It's
best
not-
part is like every time we do, even if we do take time apart, we go back and it feels like we just catch up.
Like nothing.
Yeah,
So
But,
I
like,
can
people
take
like
like
that.
2 years off away from him. There's
Yeah.
times when he would visit once a year, once every couple years, and every time we'd connect, we'd kind of get back to where we were.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
So
like
it's
those
never-
people like that who don't like, if we went on vacation or like how he had his honeymoon,
Yeah.
shit like that, it's like, that's weird to me. You're getting mad at somebody who's like dedicating his life to you and what you're doing to grow, and you're gonna get pissed off at the fact that he might have to take a week or a couple weeks off, or even if he was having a day, he needed a day to himself because he's been only buried in the place for the whole time it's been open. God forbid he needs one day off.
yeah.
Like
See, that's
I've never
the
seen
mentality.
that.
That's for you, it's weird, but for everyone else, it's like that's
don't-
how it is.
Yeah.
You know what
How?
I mean?
Like I don't get. That's something that just never like. I was talking to Brian the
Oh,
other
yeah.
day, and I brought it up to them. It's weird to me how it's like seeing your boys grow, right? Because Andrew has his own Tesla on Turo, but we don't, right? Why would I get mad at the fact that he took the risk of getting it's serious? No, seriously. Why would I get mad at the fact that he rent or bought the car out of his money, his credit, and I'm gonna sit here and get pissed off and be like jealous? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. The jealousy that people have, and like, especially when it's somebody close to you. I just don't. I can't even say it. Like how confusing it makes me.
I
It just
don't
doesn't
think
make
you
no
guys
sense.
Realize like how like rare this is.
I
It's
don't even
so
know if it's rare.
often, like I've heard
No,
all
it's
the stories. Like if you guys are friends, it's one thing. Like to not be jealous of friends of another. Like you guys are in business. You know where the money's coming in, how much money's coming out. Like you know where it's all at. And when
Yeah.
money's involved, relationships get even weirder. You know what I mean? But you guys are all okay with it, right?
Because we all made that like oath, quote unquote. Like, bro, once money comes involved, we even said it too. I think it was before Rafi like came here fully to Arizona and everything. We shut it down. We will never. No one will let. I will never let money, and they won't either as well. Let money get involved.
Right.
Oh, shit.
yeah.
Let
Yeah.
money get
Let money
involved
get-
into like a relationship because like, dude, like I said, the future's just too bright, too big for that.
Yeah, I love that. Well, that's, I mean, yeah, I'm going to be like always just chewing on how strong you guys have a relationship.
No, I appreciate
So
it, man.
I'm going to respect y'all's time. I know 2:30 you guys got to get going here. I'm going to start landing us. There's big questions that I usually ask in a rapid fire round. Since there's 4 of you guys, just on the big questions, do your best so I just protect everybody's time. So first big question is, if you have a biggest regret, what would that be?
Let's go that way.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, yours
Yeah,
is right next
yeah.
to me. Matt, if you have a regret in life in general or anything like that, what would it be? If you don't, perfect.
You know,
Cutting a promo. Here he goes.
I'm just blessed to have them,
Yeah.
to have me and my business partners.
What about your regret?
My regret is not to be angry all the time. That's my biggest regret.
Okay.
Never paying attention to what we say. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I think biggest regret is not doing this sooner.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
because we started this year and a half ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, as like together.
Yeah.
They were running their business. They were running. We've always made money. It's just not together. Now we're doing it together. So not doing it sooner, because I feel like if I would have started this, or we started this 5 years ago, I think we'd be in a different situation.
Yeah.
We would be in a different
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting it done sooner, and I definitely would have had a lot more established than what we already have right now.
That's true. I've heard that a few times. That's tough, right? You can't go back. But
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thankful because everybody's here. It's like-minded, same vision, same goal. We're all here to do it.
yeah.
We're not here to who's gonna reach the highest, the
Right.
fastest.
Yeah.
If I'm down, we're all down.
I love that.
Honestly, I can't even lie. I have no idea what I would regret. It's just that's how life is. I look at life genuinely, and we talked about this just recently too. I don't sit there and just like regret things. It's just life happened that way for a reason.
Mm.
It's like one of those things there was a quote I saw, was like, what punishments from God are not gifts? Truthfully.
Right.
That's the way I look at life now. And I really don't sit here and regret things. Yeah, there's some things I've done in my past where I'm not happy for I've done.
Right.
But it's not like I can't sit here and just dwell on the regrets or even think about regretting them. So I really don't even know what I would have regret.
That's cool. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's great. Is that it's some people have some that they carry through life, and some live like you. It's like I got no regrets or
Yeah.
regrets. That guy with the tattoo on his chest. What about you?
My biggest regret is not investing earlier on.
In Bitcoin.
Just anything, man.
Yeah.
Just invest, in properties or anything. Just
Right.
investing in anything, But that just comes from growing up with not having that same.
Yeah. I
you
feel
know,
that. I feel that
but-
too. Like I wish I knew what I knew now.
Yeah,
And then,
back
like,
then.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, those are the exact words,
I
literally.
totally agree with that. Next big question. We'll start with Matt over. How would you like to be remembered?
Remembered in like what way?
When you die.
Like if I'm out of here?
Yeah.
All right, Shaq. I think that I've always went my hardest for something that I was looking for or wanted to do or accomplish. Like I've always say I wanted to accomplish a certain thing. I want people to know that I always did what I needed to do or tried at least my best to accomplish that, whether I can do it or not.
Yeah.
So it's definitely I've always tried. Come to me with a problem and I'll find a solution.
I like that. That's big.
You want to go or you want to have them?
Mine is similar
Yeah.
in that aspect, but mine is more like he did life the way exactly he said he was going to do. He said he's going to pack his shit and go. Pack my little ass hybrid, started my life and carried on and never looked back. That's how I want people to genuinely look at their own life and be like, damn, if I did it, why can't you? We all started the same way.
Yeah.
From nothing, turn it into something.
I like
Some
that.
people got, whatever. They got some money handed to them, whatever. But majority of the world,
Right.
literally, just started a car, gone. He just said he was going to do it, and he does, and he just does it. That's it. Whether it's a good or bad, whatever outcome it was, he just did it.
Yeah.
That's literally caring and all that is nice and all, but I want them to carry on about life, caring and everything and humble. You should do that as a human in general.
Right.
But literally, like he got up, just does it, and that's it. Like it's either you do or you don't kind of life for me.
Yeah. Black and white.
That's it.
Yeah.
To a certain extent,
Right.
for sure. And that's how I want people to carry on, learn from like maybe what they might have taken from me in life and carry it on in their own aspect, or teach their kid if they wanted to, whatever the aspect might be, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah. I can see that already in your life. So that's cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Rafael?
I just want to be remembered in like a positive impact, like if I can be the next positive impact on like the next generation or just, the person next to me, because that'll domino effect to the next person and then eventually they'll remember me have positive impact. So if I can make a change by just being positive on my own, from myself
Yeah.
onto the next guy, then that's how I want to be remembered.
I like
Just
that.
a positive figure,
Yeah. You are the hype guy.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
Totally,
Appreciate
see what I
that.
mean?
I appreciate
Totally,
it.
bro.
I want to be remembered as helping the homeless community. Like, I don't know. I I just thought about that.
He's funny. He's
I love
just,
the way he puts it.
Matt is just a goofy guy, man. He's a funny
It's all
guy.
about the cause. You know,
That's-
nowadays you go in the street, you see people sleeping in the tent or on like in the
Yeah.
middle of the street.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to help the homeless community, like get them food, snacks.
Yeah.
But I would never give them money because they can definitely use that on drugs and
Yes,
alcohol
I
and
agree.
all that.
See, there's a
So-
different dynamic of it. It's so like out of this group, who would try to run for president? Guaranteed. There ain't no mayor. There ain't no governor. Right to presidency.
Yes, I can see that.
But yeah, it's all about carrying each other. Like it's
Yeah.
like nowadays the economy is rough and
Yeah.
you just gotta help someone out. Like I mean, somebody might be depressed. There's some. I mean, there's a lot of people that are depressed nowadays.
Right.
Anxiety,
Yeah.
depression.
Yeah.
So I want to be that person to help that person out. Like
Yeah.
I want to help. You know, I want to make the better community.
Like make them feel
Around.
better
Make
as a
them
whole.
feel better.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
actually
get
dope.
that.
You know,
I like that.
that's just me. I want to help them out. So
No,
Oh, yeah.
I can see that happening, and hopefully, Four Bros crushes it. You can do those things, right? Take
Absolutely.
care of the homeless. So
yeah.
I love that. I love it. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna save the where do you see yourself in the next 5 years because that can be a long one.
Yeah, I have no idea where I even see myself.
So, and I'm sure
I'm
you know
dead.
in the next 5 years, four bros. You know, you guys want to be Cobblestone, be bigger than Cobblestone, right? So I think that can speak for itself. I'm really trying to respect your time, so I'm going to keep going. This one, I do want to hear from each person. What is success to you? Because I think everybody has their own terminology of what success is. So what is success to you?
Success is just, having a good foundation around you and a family around you like how we do right now, and just, being at the top, but also just being happy and enjoying the process, while getting to that success. But it's just, financially, of course, everything is great financially, but just being happy in what you do and just being happy in general. Just, when you make it up there, how do you stay happy? Stay happy, doing and love what you do while you make it up there. But success is just having a foundation like how we do right now and just the right people around you and money.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sprinkle
Money.
on top.
Yeah.
Great answer. I like that.
Yeah.
Bro, literally the same exact thing almost. But I would add in keeping your morals aligned long term while you are building the way you are. Because anybody, like, let's say, because we're still young, we're not even in our 30s yet.
Right.
Not saying that's old. Before anybody goes nuts on me. When you have your morals aligned up from your younger years and you carry that on in your 30s, your 40s, 50s, whenever you pass away, whatever it is, I feel like success is held to a nice, like, kind of balance of you're not going overboard of arrogance or whatever and just shit on people in life. Like, just everyone was there at one point. So I would say something along those lines, carry on from what he said. Because, of course, all that is great. Foundation is always good. The money's always good, of course.
Right.
But keeping your morals and the way you are as a person from when you started all the way until the day you pass away.
Yeah.
Keeping it aligned like that. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we all start broke. We all start somewhere.
Yeah.
So you can't expect someone else to be like, oh, this and that. Like, hey, you were there at one point.
Yeah.
Their vision might be not the same as yours either. So you just got to look at it that way as well. So morals is a big one for me.
I agree. And what I get from you, from everything you've said, is that you wanted, if you say you're going to do something, you better do it. Like, that's
Yeah.
you. Like, no matter what, even your morals, you're going to be a good person now, you better be a good person later. Right? I like that. So that's a great answer.
Appreciate it, bro.
Andrew.
What is success? So average person would be like, and I don't disagree, money, wealth, life, happiness, whatever, but people don't realize, or I didn't even realize this till going out of the country, is being happy with what you got, with what I got, right? I don't need to have 10 zeros on my bank account, right? If I have my health, I got the people that take care of me, I got people that around me that will always be there when I need them, whether I got money or not, or they got money or health or whatever, I got people that will support me. And that's success, because who could really say they got that foundation or they got that support? And everybody that's around me in my circle, I know will have my back if I need them.
Yeah.
And so besides the money and the victories and the cars and the houses and the investments and stuff, it's more of what you got. I mean, if I'm successful with them, wouldn't be successful without them, because if I was with a whole bunch of people that didn't have my mindset, I wouldn't be where I'm at. It's just like being with a whole bunch of people that are on drugs, right? You're going to end up following that footsteps. It's alcohol. You end up, that's just, we're just doing it for fun, and it's becoming a 1 day, 2 day, 5 day thing, and
Right.
follow that. And so if I wasn't in a like-minded group, I wouldn't be successful.
Yeah, I like your answer as far as, you went out of the country and you said things you have now, like finding contentment. Like,
Yeah.
so what did you see, I guess, that made you think that way?
Everybody's happy with what they got out there. Nobody's pissed off. I mean, there's traffic in a small third world country, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody flip someone off, get mad at someone. Everybody's happy, honking, waving. I mean, you guys, smallest thing, for example, is like average person would get mad not having their clothes dry. They don't got dryers out there, or if they
Wow.
do, it's a luxury.
Yeah.
There's stuff that's all hung up. There's kids hustling on the streets. I mean, it's way different. We're over here. I mean, I even met some people out there, from butlers to taxi drivers, where they don't have an option. They can't just come to the United States.
Mm.
Where we have the option to get up and move whenever we want.
Yeah.
We could just be like, well, if we got a passport, we're going.
Yeah.
If we got what we need, we can go wherever we want, when we want. Where other people that are like us don't have that option.
Mm.
That's what they have, and that's what they got, and that's what they know.
Yeah.
No options.
Secret to contentment.
So
yeah.
yeah, just imagine that.
Yeah. That's true.
It's
I love that.
crazy.
I like your perspective. Thank you.
Successful.
Cut that promo, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What
I
is
just-
success to you?
Well, just never give up in life, and just keep doing what you got to do in order to live. And I'm successful for my beautiful family here. They've always supported me from day one.
That's awesome.
So he actually teach me how to ceramic coat. So if he never teach me
Me?
about ceramic coating, I wouldn't know anything about
Oh, okay.
ceramic coating.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm just blessed about
I love that.
all the positive things that they given me in my life, and
Yeah.
I'm just grateful.
Yeah. I've met with a lot of people. I've sat with billionaires. I've sat with a lot of different types.
Damn.
Out of everyone, I would love to be in this group, because I can see the camaraderie, the brotherhood. The money's gonna be there.
It will-
but
yes.
It's the in between, the texts, the inside jokes, the picking on each other, the having fun that draws me more than the private
Yeah.
jets and stuff that have been around. Like, this is cool.
Bro, that's legit what we
You
always
see what
say.
I mean when it comes to happiness? It's like,
Yeah.
dude, enjoy the process.
Part 2
you
then
know?
was coming soon, hopefully.
You even like the craziest thing is the people that have all that money, the jets and everything else. Sometimes those are the ones that are not the happiest either.
Yeah.
Where whether we got it or not, we're chilling.
You
We
know?
got our people. We got a place to live in.
Yeah.
We all
Still had the
we
money
all have
in,
a
though.
place to live in.
Yeah.
We got food on the table. It's like, why?
Yeah.
I'm gonna die eventually one day. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Why would I sit here more miserable in life than it is already for
Yeah.
how you have to carry it on?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make life miserable than what it has to be or how it needs to be.
Yeah.
I'm good off that.
If I put $1 million on the table, what I love is that the money would be dispersed evenly.
Oh, easily.
You guys would be taking care of each other. It wouldn't. Their lives wouldn't change much. Maybe a nicer house and different car, but the things would stay the same.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
trust me when I say I've sat with guys in Las Vegas eating $1,000 worth of sushi and
Damn.
and being horrible to waitresses, wearing RMs. I've been around it, and it's just so sad.
Really?
To be, yeah, dude. It's like, it's so scary. It's like they
Oh, shit.
had all the money in the world, but
What was so sad about it?
they're not happy, and they're treating people like crap.
Oh, you see, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and they have all the money.
That's exactly
You
what I
know?
mean about the morals. I guarantee they were broke bums, and I hope they watch this
Hey, or
at one point.
or they're alone.
That's
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's true too.
It's something
and
inside.
one of them was alone.
Bro, it's something
Yeah.
deep down within they can't
Yeah.
face, and they're afraid to face it, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
So then they just treat everyone else like shit because they feel so empty inside.
yeah. I think money just accentuates who you
Yeah.
really are already.
Bro, I've been seeing that literally everywhere. That's such a fact.
Yeah,
It's insane.
yeah.
Well, let's see. See to
Oh,
It's
believe
just
it,
you add
hopefully.
the money for the freedom.
Yeah,
That's
money,
it.
freedom.
That's it. That's all you want the money for is for
Yeah.
the freedom, you know?
Yep.
When these other people want it for all these,
Yeah.
all the drugs and all that. That's a little too excessive,
Cocaine.
you know?
I'm gonna land this here. Rapid fire round. You don't think about it too much. You answer the question, and then we'll land it there. First question, and just answer it without thinking. Pizza or spaghetti?
Pizza.
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 All right. It's pizza across the
Hell
board. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke all day.
Shit, Pepsi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pepsi.
Really?
I don't like soda that much, so Coke.
Oh, okay.
One or the other.
That's cool.
Coke Zero though, all the way.
Yeah, Coke
But
all the
Pepsi
way.
overall.
No, Coke is way better though.
I have never had anyone say Pepsi the entire time.
Yeah,
You guys
Coke
go
is
for-
way better.
All your pot.
Yes. I've done
I
15.
mean, you did pay
Everyone's
us a
on
little
Coke.
extra to say this.
Yeah. Sponsored. All right, next question. Would you take $1 million all at once, one time, or $15,000 a month for the rest of your life?
15,000
Okay.
for a month for the rest of my life.
I like that.
Yeah.
15.
15.
Yeah.
Andrew?
I don't know. I can make $1 million turn into a lot more.
That yeah. I thought about
mean,
that.
with like
guaranteed.
investments, flips. I mean, I could just keep on I can make that million go with what we know now and what we have.
Yeah.
I think $15,000 reoccurring.
Yeah.
I mean, because it could.
Because then you
I
can
can
really
make- I can
invest
make
it.
that something.
Shit can go south. You never
Yeah.
know.
Hey,
You can
it
really
Could be some
invest that
slow months,
15K.
but you're guaranteed 15,000 a month.
Hey, 15 grand and,
All day.
we're working full time.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll do 15 grand.
Yeah,
Come on
15
now.
grand all day.
Same here.
Okay, there you go. All right, I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Football, basketball, or UFC?
Oh my.
Oh, I'd say football, but UFC too. But
gotta pick
football,
one.
Pick one.
football number one.
Football.
Yeah, football all day.
Football.
All the above because I don't really watch all that stuff.
Me neither, so I don't know.
my thing is, hey, I'll hang out with them. Grab
Whatever's
the
on
wings,
TV,
grab
they're
whatever.
watching.
You know, we do that just to. Well, I do that to hang out. They're watching it. I'm hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Sport
like
betting.
that. Sport betting.
Basketball. My boy Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
hey.
Let's go.
Let's go. I like
Phoenix
that.
Suns. Let's go, baby.
I like that. Stocks or crypto?
Stocks.
Stocks.
Stock?
Yeah.
Old
Stocks.
money. I like
Yeah.
it. All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know.
Got a rapid fire, boy.
I made a lot of money in crypto, but I guess I'll go stocks for long term.
Stocks,
Yeah.
Okay. Still old money? Okay.
Stocks.
Okay, stocks across the board.
Yep.
So this next question is going to be interesting. Are you a Ferrari or Lamborghini person?
Oh, I'm gonna say Ferrari.
That's right. Stocks
Yeah.
usually goes with old money.
I'm gonna say Ferrari. Yeah.
Ferrari.
There you go.
I was leaning
But
towards going Lambo a little bit.
It's so hard, but
Yeah,
I'd say Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Though, yeah.
That'll be different. Lambo.
Lambo. But you got crypto money, so that's why.
Yeah,
They
it's
usually,
fun. See, there we go.
they correlate.
Ferrari.
Ferrari. Okay.
SF90. Come on.
Yeah, and you guys have done but work on both, and I've heard y'all's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
insight to it, so I can see why. Last question: if you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be?
I already know mine.
Yeah, you go then.
Guaranteed. Predicting the future about everything.
Crazy.
Being able to know what the future is going to
As
be.
bad as that does sound, because when you do
It's
know
pretty
when
bad,
you when you
dude.
do know the future, I wouldn't say everything, but like my prediction of the future is just knowing the next stock, how high it's gonna hit. I'm just gonna invest all my money in and just
Okay.
kill that market.
Fair enough. Okay, I was about
I'm
to
not
say,
gonna. I don't want to know too much, like when the
Yeah.
world's ending. No, I'm good off that. But
Okay.
that's like one thing I would love to know. But it's so like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good and bad.
Yes. it
So
does.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Okay. Superpower.
I mean, besides that, I think it's if I'm always feeling good, armed, bulletproof. I don't know however you want to put that superpower as far as
Can't die.
mentally, physically, emotionally, and all that. I mean, you're right up here. You,
Interesting.
You got everything else that's going for you.
That's a good. That's cool. Yeah, because you can know the future, but maybe not feel good inside. Like, that's
I
interesting.
mean, yeah. Besides, I mean,
Misery and
superpower,
despair. it's
jumping
okay.
on cars and have crazy strength. When am I gonna ever use that stuff?
Yeah.
Jose.
Good answer. I like that. Superpower.
So I held it back a little bit. Not too much of the future.
I just want to be funny.
That's a superpower. Could
wanna
have
be-
said 5.
Oh man, I think you got that already, man.
Yeah, bro.
You
Yeah.
make
Any
these guys laugh
superpower in
all
the world,
time.
anything. You can even come up with your own.
Oh my god. Be a millionaire. Probably like be a millionaire. Be rich.
Well, something superhuman, like something to do with.
Can you
like,
fly right now?
No.
Would you like to fly?
Hell no.
Now,
I was trying to get us somewhere. This is terrible rapid fire.
next. Last one. You.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'd either. Well, fuck. I'd love to teleport.
Teleport. I was
Make-
about to say, are you legit go fast? Cause the
Yeah,
bike and
yeah.
everything?
Teleport would be sick because you could just travel the world without even
Yeah.
like a quarter of the time, or
Yeah.
like even just like you're just teleporting, you know. So
I love that.
teleporting would be cool.
It's great answers. Great answers. Well, guys, respect your time. I appreciate you coming on here. If you guys want to follow them, Four Bros, if you want to give their personal Instagrams. I'll tag them on the post.
Hell yeah.
But if you need some ceramic work, detail work, window tints, anything car related, I'll just say, here in Scottsdale, Arizona, you can message me. I'll get you in contact with them. Any last words from you guys?
Absolutely. Going back to teammates and how it is and everything, to close it off
Yes,
here.
yes, please.
There's a quote I saw the other day, and I stick with it like no other now. This is how it reads it. You don't find out who the best teammates are when the champagne is dripping off your ceiling. You find out who your best teammates are when the times are really tough. When you're against the wall, your back's against the wall like no other, you really find out who your real teammates are.
That's true.
Going back to the people that you met up and encountered with, and their businesses don't go good because of that reason of friendship or whatever.
Right.
Because the times were getting tough for them. I think we already passed that.
Yeah.
That hard times and everything. Now it's like how to generate it to get to the next level of success.
Yeah.
So
That's
the way
great
I look at
perspective.
it.
That makes sense to why you guys are successful now in
Yes.
the business, because you already went through the hard times. together.
Exactly.
I love that.
100%.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you
course.
for listening. Thanks.